Good morning, explorers. I'm in Santa Fe taking a 0 day, meaning I'm not going anywhere. Just stepped in a puddle. And which is good because it's raining all over the place here. And I'm walking around Old Town Santa Fe, just seeing what the sights are. I just got done at the post office dropping off a whole bunch of stuff I overpacked, mostly electronics. And I also am recharging batteries and myself. So, you know. There's the U.S. Post courthouse. That's old. I don't know how old it is, but it's old. Just exploring the neighborhood. It's raining, and I think a lot of things are actually closed. I don't know why. So I'm headed towards the main square and just seeing what's there. Nice, easy day, nothing much going on. Just recharging all the batteries, including mine. Santa Fe is the capital of New Mexico, and being an art-centric city, it has probably the best-looking Capitol building I've ever seen on all my trips, with a lot of art around it. It's really cool. My next stop was the New Mexico History Museum. It was an amazing museum. They did a great job of documenting the history of not only the New Mexico, but the involvement of the area around Santa Fe. They had artifacts from each of the eras and pictures of the people involved, uniforms from the time. They had displays on the Mexican-American War and documented its effect on the area around Santa Fe in New Mexico. They had a really nice exhibit on Pancho Villa and his history in the area. They had a death mask of Pancho Villa, which I thought was, that's a thing they used to do. It was kind of interesting but gruesome. They talked about the involvement of New Mexico in the Civil War, again, with some of the weapons, the artifacts. They did a great job of documenting the Indian policy or Native American policy in the area, and a really good job of documenting the involvement of the railroad in not only New Mexico and Santa Fe, but in the Southwest. They also included great documentation of the people of color in the development of the railroad and New Mexico, showing the jobs they had, short snippets of interviews they had done with people, and a lot of the tools that were used on the railroad. I thought the railroad section of the museum was extremely interesting because I've really never looked at the railroad as an industry and looked at the people involved. Earlier in my trip, I talked about the Fred Harvey houses along 66 and along the railroad. And the museum had a great display of the history of Fred Harvey, the history of the houses, the uniforms, and the atmosphere that Fred Harvey tried to incorporate in the restaurants. I think it was really well done. New Mexico History Museum is well worth the time and the money. It's not very expensive, $5-10. There's a lot of other exhibits like this Harley, which was owned by Frank Harlow, who was part of the White Sands nuclear test site, and wrote a book on pottery. A pottery collector wanted to trade him this Harley for a piece of pottery that Frank had collected, and that's what happened. And that's the New Mexico History Museum. Santa Fe is rich in southwestern art and has a strong artist background of the city. That means that they have a lot of art installations and displays and things. It's a really nice city to walk through. San Miguel Church is the oldest church that is in continuous use in the United States. It was first established in 1610 and has been continually used since then. Architecturally, it's an amazing building, and it's phenomenal to know that it's been around for over 400 years in the Southwest. Kind of a cool place. The city square in downtown Santa Fe has a lot of events that take place. Unfortunately, it was raining today, but even then, under a lot of the overhangs on the buildings, there were artists that were displaying their work and that you can purchase, like jewelry and paintings and things, bringing the history of the New Mexico and Santa Fe to you. The Santa Fe River runs right through Santa Fe, which doesn't surprise me. It was nice to see. And what I didn't know was that the Santa Fe Trail goes right through Santa Fe. It is one of the terminuses of the Santa Fe Trail, and you can walk the Santa Fe Trail through Santa Fe by following the signs. That was my stay in Santa Fe. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, crush that like button, subscribe, ring the bell. As always, be great, do good, go out and explore.